C'est long aujourd'hui, hein? Ah, on est live. Let's go. Comment ça va, mon George? Yes, sir.
Good, you?
Lundi, Marketing Monday. Very good, bro. It's been a nice weekend. Getting ready. Let me just start on Instagram also for our friends there. And boom. So, yeah. Big weekend. We are starting a new series, something new, probably that would interest a couple of our friends here in the chat, in the podcast that comes to see us. We've had people. I've spoke to a couple of my friends also who have businesses, and in the coming upcoming weeks, we're going to start preparing stuff to help our friends get insights, get knowledge, aller pick up des stratégies, quelque chose d'intéressant. On va essayer de monter des groupes, puis essayer de régler des problèmes by the numbers. Like take a real comment je peux dire, une approche vraiment concrète pour régler les problèmes des business des gens qu'on connaît, bro. Moi, ça serait quelque chose que durant les prochaines semaines, moi puis Jordan, on va travailler sur vous offrir quelque chose. And we would appreciate your suggestion throughout all of this. Comme moi, je vais poster durant la semaine. On va poster sur la page de stratégie conseil durant la semaine quand on va sortir des choses. Puis we would appreciate if people would comment and give us their suggestions of how they feel if the offer is good and s'ils pensent que comme on pourrait ajuster certaines choses. Bref, je ne veux pas trop en dire. Au fur et à mesure qu'on va sortir le travail, que le travail va être fait, on va vous en parler plus, mais on va amener beaucoup de choses dans les prochaines semaines, de la nouveauté, des trucs intéressants, puis actionable stuff for our people, man, that because we're just getting started, right? It's all it's people from around us. On essaie de régler les problèmes de notre famille first, like, to be honest, like this is not this podcast is not worldwide yet. Like we're just out there trying to hit some problems from the community that's around us. Tu comprends? Comme, let's start with that. Let's just start with that. So, right, on that, George, I don't know if you wanted to add something. Je sais pas si tu voulais en parler un peu ou.
Maybe it would be good to get some feedback on what are the problems now, in order to tailor something really good that actually solves the problem, right? You need to know first what the problem is, what the problems are. And I feel like it's good that we're in Marketing Monday now, but that is the biggest problem, right? Wouldn't you agree? It's all
Exactement, c'est ça que j'allais dire. Je trouve ça intéressant que tu dises ça parce que même nous, en fin de semaine, on était assis pour figure out how we're going to market this podcast. Like, is it going to be like videos on where are we going to start? TikTok, Instagram, Shorts, Reels. There's so many options, right? Like, tu peux te perdre là-dedans tellement. And for a brand, like, we're a podcast, so it's pretty straightforward, right? Like, we're going to do short Reels, and we're going to post them on TikTok and try to market what we say on the podcast. By doing this podcast, we're creating a bunch of content, like massive amount of hours of content, and from there we pick and choose.
Yeah, like obviously the goal is to grow and get as many followers as possible, and also expand on different social media networks. And
but the strategy for marketing for this podcast is pretty straightforward. Like, it's
pretty straightforward. It's just to get out there, just to fucking blast ourselves everywhere.
Especially LinkedIn. When you're new, right? Like, nobody knows us, so it's pretty easy. But for Marketing Monday, I was thinking, because, and you said it right, comme tu l'as dit toi-même, il faut trouver des problèmes And I was thinking about that. Ce matin, je me briefais, puis je pensais à ça. J'étais comme... Depuis toutes les années que je fais de la consultation, all these years ask, like... Before the pandemic, j'avais plein d'ads, tu comprends? Puis c'était là que c'était le plus fort. Avant la pandémie, j'avais beaucoup de gens qui répondaient à mes annonces. Les gens cherchaient du financement pour acheter des machines. Les gens cherchaient du financement pour... But now, the battlefield is on social media. The battlefield is really based on how well are you marketing your products. It's all ads. Like, let's be honest. Comme, il y a plein d'autres façons de market les produits, mais il n'y a rien d'aussi rapide que les funnels, puis les Facebook ads and all that. We have to be
100%. That's what we are now. Before it used to be the newspaper, the radio stations and stuff like that. But right now it's and it's been like that for the past, I don't know, 10 years now and growing. Ads on right. Social media and stuff. Like I just did a video a week ago that went viral. No, I spoke about it. Like 400K views. It's not even a week that it's out. So yeah,
and we're not known. Like it's not like we have so many followers que t'avais tellement de followers qui ont juste
not even no. It's just a reel. It's just a reel. Like I don't even have 1,000 followers, but it got seen by 400K people and counting. Like I said, it's only been a couple days. It went viral, and it's going viral. One little clip of 5 seconds. That's all it takes to go absolutely berserk. But anyways, so yeah, that's what I want to do. The same thing for our podcast, obviously, because I want to get known. Because I think we could actually help a lot of people. I love the fact that we do shit differently. I just love that. I love that shit. I love that we're in Facebook group chats, for example, on cleaning, and people are there. I don't love the fact that people are struggling, obviously, but the fact that people are struggling on finding clients, but then here we are, like, we don't have that problem. We have so many clients because we're using the right method, the right methods, right?
The right. It's funny that you say the right method. I was thinking about today. I was thinking about what we're trying to build for our community. Pour les gens qui sont autour de nous autres, qui ont des business, qui nous écoutent. Puis je me disais, tu sais, en vrai, il n'y a pas une méthode. Il y a toujours plein de méthodes. Puis quand je faisais de la consultation aussi, vraiment, avant et après la pandémie, ce qui revenait le plus souvent, c'était quelle méthode on va utiliser, quelle stratégie on va employer. Most people, especially in marketing, it's not their field. Like they didn't study marketing. They started by studying the field where they wanted to operate. And it's normal, right? You're not going to start a garage or you won't have the idea of having a garage and starting by going for marketing. You should, but nobody does that. Tu vas pas faire un cours de marketing, puis après ça, tu vas aller t'inscrire à l'école de mécanique, puis faire ton... Bon. But strategy is everything because strategy, it tastes awful. I'm going to tell you something. Strategy tastes awful, and it works. Which company do you know?
Why does it taste awful? Buckley's.
That's Buckley's.
Buckley's.
So what's Buckley's strategy for marketing?
Bro, since I was a kid, that ad drilled into my head. And even when I was a kid, I was like, fuck it. I don't want to take it, but I need it. And like, no, I want to take it. Not because it tastes good, but because it works. That Buckley ad's super, super effective.
It is effective.
And I don't find it tasted that bad.
But what's their promise? But why is it effective? What's Buckley's promise?
That it works. It's gonna cure your sickness. It's gonna cure your cold.
So their strategy is
it's like things that things that give you instant gratification are generally not good right away, right? We talked about this last time. Things that give you instant gratification are genuinely not good in the long term. Things that are tough or hard at the beginning tend to give you a better result, right or wrong. in the long run.
Ben, c'est sûr que c'est toujours vrai. C'est sûr que c'est toujours vrai.
You eat candy in the short, it tastes good. You eat chocolate, it tastes good, but it's like it's not good for you after, in the long
You're
run.
right, but it's all about where, like, what you're looking for, what you're like, and these guys, what their strategy was to seal the market of the non-flavorful.
Well, they were
medication.
all the other companies were marketing on bubble gum flavor, this
Yes.
type of flavor. So they did something
Artificial.
different.
Ouais,
so
eux
they
autres,
did
ils ont-
something different. That's why they stood out, because they're different. They were
Yes.
unique.
It's this other,
But their product works. At the end of the day, you need both. You need a fantastic, like, you can have good marketing. It'll only get you so far. You also need a good product to back it up. Otherwise, you won't last. You need both. You need a good product mixed with good marketing is a recipe for success. And if you just have good marketing, you're going to get a lot of engagement. You're going to get a lot of, and then people are going to buy your product and, oh, it sucks. You're not going to have any repeat buyers.
Mais au-delà de ça, ça te prend une bonne stratégie aussi. C'est quand
For
que,
sure.
Parce
For
que
sure it does.
Dans ces années-là, tu sais, Buckley, puis toutes these old companies, because these companies, I don't know, like Buckley's, je pense que c'est dans les années 20, c'est vieux, là, ça fait longtemps. The marketing was war-oriented. And why was it war-oriented? Because these boys were coming back from World War II. And these boys had, like, the word strategies, targets, toutes ces affaires. It's actually a battlefield. Marketing is a battlefield because you're trying to gain ground on your rival, your opponent, your competitor. Like, if you really analyze this, if you're trying to grow a company, you're trying to grow your business, you're trying to gain grounds, like these customers are not just going to materialize themselves. You're stealing someone else's clients. Like, these customers come from somewhere to go to your business, to give you their business. This is a battlefield. And so if you don't have a strategy in place, you're just going straight, like, you're just spending cash. You're literally just spending money. It's a slaughter. You're slaughtering your money. If you go
and even if you do grow, you're gonna grow very slowly.
And you won't see, like, what works and what's not working. Like, if you're starting a campaign one day with, like, it's just going in there blindly. Like, if you're going in there blindly, if you don't have a strategy first in place, a real market analysis, you're just out there spending some money. Like, I could give you examples. There's the Buckley's example. On va en parler. The Buckley strategy. Buckley strategy was brilliant. Parce que dans le fond, it gave Buckley's a unique selling point. In a certain way. It gave them a unique selling point in a very crowded category. Dans cette catégorie-là, il y a plein de sortes de sirop puis tout ça.
It tastes awful and it works. But the moment you told me that, right away, I knew it was Buckley's we were talking about.
All the other ones have to have flavors, because you're not gonna get another bad tasting flavor. You're not gonna get another bad tasting brand other than Buckley, because you're gonna tell yourself, might as well just get some Buckley.
Yeah, but they did their homework. They did their homework, right? Because, like, do people buy medicine for the taste? Do you go out there and say, oh, even though when I was a kid, I used to love the bubblegum flavor cough syrup. But at the end of the day, you buy the cough syrup for what purpose? Do you buy it because, I want to indulge myself in some bubble? Like, no.
So what do? When you have kids, you buy another flavor. You buy another brand. You have two. You have two bottles. That's what they want you to do.
Does Buckley's work
for both?
But I don't think Buckley's is marketed. I don't think Buckley's is marketed towards kids, if I'm not mistaken. I think
It's
Buckley's
not.
is marketed exactly. So for kids, I don't think it would work. I don't think
non.
no, for the kids, you need to get them the Dino Flintstone vitamins,
And
bro.
that's how they market these brands. Mais Buckley,
It's
eux
totally
autres,
different, totally
ils ont
different marketing.
scellé le deal.
But
You're
if
not going to get something else than Buckley if it tastes bad.
I'm just curious because I think they came up with a Buckley's Kids, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just
you
curious.
think? Ben là, ça, it
No, I'm
should
just
be
curious.
brand
I'm
new.
just my curiosity, but I'm still listening. You could go ahead. Yeah, Jack and
strategy is everything, bro. Like it's
help your
it's like
kid.
any battle.
Help your kid feel better with this great tasting honey flavored cough and cold syrup. It soothes your throat and provides
Okay, so it's from
relief.
Buckley. So if you're a parent, you're getting the Buckley for yourself, and you're getting the nice tasting Buckley for your kid. Makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense. They upsell that pretty perfectly, and ça dit exactement ce que je disais. They want you to get 2 bottles.
But wait, I have a question. So what does that do to their brand now? What does that do if aren't they contradicting themselves now? Even though one of their cough syrup is marketed towards kids, doesn't that contradict their whole elevator pitch, their whole mission statement, which is it tastes awful and it works? Now they're saying, but hey, this one here tastes great.
Ouais, mais tu fais le choix. Tu sais, nous autres, on veut quelque chose qui est effectif.
So now, I think that this one doesn't work because it tastes good. The kids one tastes well odd, so that means it must not work.
But if you're in the market of some Buckley and you've heard tastes bad, but it works, you're just going to get some Buckley, bro. Like, you're just going to go out there and get some Buckley. And if you are out there and you find that there's one that tastes good, you're going to buy it because you know it works. So it's not about tastes bad because you're not buying it because it tastes bad. You're buying it because it works. That's what your brain is.
Yes, but now what I'm saying is now they're branding this one on great tasting honey flavored cough and cold syrup. So I wonder what that does like to their brand, right? Because like you sold me on the other one. In my head, I perceive that one as okay, it's working because it tastes bad, because they did what they had to do in order to make you feel better in the long term. So my brain works like that. It's like, okay, it doesn't give me instant gratification. That's a sign in my brain that the outcome is going to be better. The long-term outcome is going to be better. I don't know if I'm going too deep over here, if you understand what I mean.
En vrai, faudrait que tu te poses la question, is the market reacting the same way you're reacting? And I think the answer is no. Most of the people would just buy the brand because they.
I don't know how the marketing's how the market is reacting. I'm just asking questions based on how This is not going to stop me from getting Buckley's. I'll still get Buckley's, but I'm just saying, like, what does that do to their message or their slogan? If you're marketing this, Buckley's tastes awful and it works, but then it's like, hey, the kids one tastes.
I think what it says about their brand is they're just trying to overtake another part of the market.
And usually when you try to do everything, it's like, maybe you're not so good in that category anymore. Maybe you're becoming too much of a generalist.
That's a good question. It's a good question that we could ask them. Like if we had them on the podcast, we could actually.
Well, I'll just just go buy it and I'll.
Why
just
did you go for that market share, for those market shares? But at the same time, it's the same things. It's been the same ads for years. They kept it. It tastes awful, but it works. So why are you buying it? Because you know it works. Your brain is like, I've been buying Buckley. Moi, c'est ça que j'achète quand je suis malade. And I don't know why. And you're actually right.
But it's a good product, though. It's actually a good product.
It actually works. It
actually works. So like they have good marketing, but they have a good product, and that's why they kill it. That's why they kill it every single time.
So
why does Buckley's cough syrup taste so bad? What causes the bad taste in Buckley syrups? You're not the only one who thinks Buckley syrup tastes like pine needles. In fact, that's why people love us. With ingredients like ammonium carbonate, menthol, Canada balsam, and pine needle oil, we weren't trying to make it taste good. We were trying to make it work. So their slogan is exactly what they do. And they deliver on that. That's why
that's what they
people
did.
keep buying more and more of
these
it.
guys, they sat down, okay, and they built a strategy around.
Isn't it always the simplest ideas that work? How simple is that? It's like if I was working in Buckley's marketing and I wasn't the one to think about that, I would be pissed at myself. Like, why didn't I think of that? Bro, it's like right in front of your face.
So it's all about owning the marketplace, like the marketing real estate. Which place are you going to own? Where are you going to fit yourself? And if you fit there, you need to own that space. You need to own it. You need to invade it completely. And that's why it's just like warfare. It has to be. You can't just go in there and just be like, yeah, I understand. Like, yes, okay, it's simple, it's easy, but you need to market it. How are you going to market it? Hey, we have the best solution on the planet. No, you can't just market simply like that. You can't just say that. You cannot just say that. You need to analyze. You need to sit down, go out there. What's your market? Like, how is your market reacting to other stuff? And you need to search that stuff. Most people have a hard time. Most entrepreneurs that I've met have a hard time just starting doing like research. They don't know where to start. Qu'est-ce que je vais faire pour pouvoir me bâtir ma stratégie à moi, ma business? Qu'est-ce qu'elle va offrir? Puis comment je vais présenter mon message?
Wouldn't you say to those people that you would mimic successful people? Wouldn't you say you would mimic the people who are successful right now? For example, that Steve Jobs interview, not the interview, but when he's having the conference, and that Karen asks him that question, what have you been doing the past 6 years? And he asks him that rude question. And then he says, like, you have to start with the satisfaction of the user and then work backwards.
Reverse engineer.
Start with the experience. Start with the customer experience first, and then work backwards. Don't try to invent a product first and then see where it fits. I love that. He killed that question when he answered that question on stage.
It's basically
start to identify the problems.
Marketing. You need to reverse engineer the marketing. You need to reverse engineer the other.
Identify the problems. What are problems that people are having, and then create something based on that to solve that problem.
There's different strategies. You could identify the problems, but you could also go with the strength of those companies. You could use the strength of other companies to your advantage and use their sword as your sword. So it's called repositioning.
Okay, so you mean like not do any research? You're just like kind of piggybacking, but building a better mousetrap.
So it's about finding the weaknesses in your competitors, finding the weaknesses of your competitors' strength. So what's their strength? Like if they're big and you're small, here's a very, very specific and very easy one. You have a small landscaping company, you're just starting, and your major competitor is one of the biggest, it's Strathmore. Like Strathmore is doing huge commercial landscaping, almost industrial. They're super big. And that's your competitor in your area. All the industrial around, they all have Strathmore. What could make you unique? And you need to use Strathmore's strength and find the weakness in that strength. If they're so big and they're such a huge company and they cover so much more than you need to go with something that's based on the fact that you're small, so you're more personal. You're able to answer the phone. That's an easy one. That's an easy one because most big companies, they cannot afford to answer the phone so easily. So if you're a small company, you should start with this. You market like, I don't know, like the headline could be, I'm not a copywriter, but obviously, tu pourrais dire un truc du genre, nous, on répond au téléphone. Tu comprends? Ou, tu sais, chez nous, le téléphone.
And market, I see where you're going. Find their weakness and market
But
and market and be good at that. Be good at what they're weak at, and then
well,
market that.
they're good and moi je peux dire they're good at what they do,
Obviously,
but there's obviously pain points that are related to the fact that they got so much bigger by being good at what they do. You understand? And these are like, there's obviously weaknesses que tu peux aller chercher in their strength. Si c'est basé sur leur if it's
I have a question.
weaknesses, it's chill. But if it's a weakness based on their strength, you're using their sword as yours because you're using their ads and their creative power as your power now. That's a very big trick.
That's amazing. That's amazing. But let me ask you an interesting question. You're a company trying to, so everything you just said about using their strength, you finding the weaknesses in their strength to market. How, as a company, do you research that? How do you research to find those weaknesses in those strengths? Are you buying the company's product, trying to act like a customer, and go like? How would you do the research on that?
Okay, so I have a system. As soon as I had to do market research, I was using a system to make research on different. Like you said earlier, you said I was on the Facebook groups. Facebook groups are a very good spot to look for information on service businesses and service clients and like this in the service field. You know, if you're a service company and you're doing HVAC, for example, you should be in every HVAC Facebook groups all around the world, not just like your regular HVAC group, HVAC America. You should be in HVAC Canada, HVAC America, HVAC Europe, HVAC UK, HVAC everywhere, because you're gonna get all these. And I think it translates automatically now on Facebook. You don't even have the language barrier. I see a bunch of French guys on the US window, and they just answer in French. Like they don't even bother like answering in English. They just answer in French, and they get answered back by the guys because I feel like they get the translated version, so they're able to answer. So that's one place where service companies would get so many insights on other business, like what are the pain points and what are the. That's one trick, and you know what? Like
that's a solid trick, though. That's a really solid trick. That's some solid advice. We found a lot of places. We found a lot of insight in those Facebook groups. A shit ton of insights.
Ben oui.
We literally, like, right or wrong, we found a need for our content literally just by reading what people are saying in those group chats. Like, such as people saying that they don't know how to get a client in this market. Pamphlets, this, that, like pamphlets are not working.
Try that, and you get a sense of it's not perfect, but if you know, I have a system. So when I say I have a system, I never go through like one post. I always go through at least, like, depending on what I'm trying to find as an insight. So what I will do, I do an Excel sheet, right? I have an Excel sheet. I have all the places, all the links of the posts that I go check, and I pick up insights on each of those posts. And for each insights, it's an opportunity to make an ad. It's content for an ad. So if I could go on, like, that's something that I was doing in consulting. These are typical market research, like your typical market research, but you need to give them a twist, and you need to really make them actionable and usable for content in the future. So that's how I use it. That's my system is really based on what's actually very easily findable on the internet, I go check what the market is sending. It's also important to check the dates. Like if the post is from 2016, it's not really
relevant anymore.
Relevant anymore. You need to look for fresh, updated posts like from 7 hours ago. You need the fresh stuff. So you need to stay on these groups. And people are going to say, oh, it's annoying. I don't want to have all these Facebook cleaning groups. I don't want to be in HVAC all the time. Well, sir, it's your business.
You have to be. And you know what? You know what helps is being
create
organized.
another Facebook account. Create something else.
Yeah. What helps is being organized. When you're not organized, bro, your whole head is a mess. Forget it. You don't feel like doing anything. You just get paralyzed, and you don't end up doing anything. But man, I think that's it for today. I think 100%. We're gonna, unless you want anything else you wanted to add.
Bro, I feel like we're not having all the time in the world, in these live streams. So I feel like if people are down to do more in-depth, not like we're not gonna. I'd say live stream. I don't want to say live stream because I don't know what format we're gonna be using, but I will be running classes for all the subjects we're talking in each of these days. So Marketing Mondays, we're going to be having strategic marketing classes on whatever day, man. I don't know.
We could do one-on-ones. We could even offer like a one-on-one.
One-on-one. I want to offer that. I want to get people to like have some actionable stuff in their hands to move their marketing and move their business forward. And we're starting with our people. We're not like 1,000. We could afford that right now. We could afford to do stuff like that. Me and Jord, we want to start something where we're helping our people, and we're not charging a dime for now because we're obviously trying to build something. So if you guys will be interested in having some help on precise topics on your business, especially for sales. And funneling your marketing, we would be very happy to help. It would actually help us in the meantime. So on that, it would be
nice to even get somebody on the live with us.
100%. It would help everyone. It would help everyone to get some insights. And
a lot of the times people are asking questions that other people have.
I would just love to have some real life context, like problem, like a real life problem to fix on the live stream. That would be amazing.
That would be nice.
That would be very nice. So yeah, bro, that's not 32 minutes. Yeah, we pushed ourselves. On se parle demain, man. Super podcast, super intéressant. Toujours un plaisir.
Yes, sir, my friend.
À demain. Ciao, man.
Ciao.
À demain.